Hello, good morning, and welcome to your daily hope booster video. Today is Monday, and today we are going to talk about one of my very favorite topics, action and taking action, and why action matters to our hopeful future. One of my favorite sayings is, hope without action is just a wish. Because if we don't do the thing, we can't get the thing. Right? You can't win the lotto if you don't buy a ticket. Without taking the action of buying a ticket, winning the lotto is just going to be a wish for you. So why does action matter? Why is action important? Few things that I want to talk about is specifically in that way today. So action activates information. So you know how big of a reader I am, how much education and knowledge and learning is so important in my life. But what I recognize is that if I don't use the information that I read, it just becomes information in my head. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't do anything. It just becomes the answer to Jeopardy questions and Scrabble words. It doesn't actually move me forward. It doesn't serve me in any way. So action activates information. We need to do something with the information to make it worth it. Action helps me figure out what works. I can read 3 or 4 books on the same topic, and each of the authors is going to tell me their opinion and their ideas of what to do with this information or why their information matters. But how do I know which one works for me? I can read all the things in the world, but if I don't action that information, I'm never going to know what works for me versus what works for someone else. And that's really key is actioning helps me to figure out what works for me and what doesn't, for sure. Absolutely what doesn't work as well. So keep in mind that when you are doing action, when you're taking action, it's not a one and done. You have to keep doing the thing, or you have to keep doing the next thing, or you have to keep doing the other thing. Taking action is a journey. Our lives are a journey. They're not a destination. Taking action, continuing to take action has to be a lifelong pursuit. It is not a one and done. So if you think that you're going to do something and check that box off and say, yep, Linz, I've done the action and now I'm good, incorrect. Keep doing the action. It's not a one and done kind of scenario. There is a law, I think it's the law of motion. I'm not sure who said this law of motion. However, the law is that a body in motion stays in motion and a body at rest stays at rest. Have you ever recognized, if you look back in your life, that when you come home from work and you're exhausted and you sit on the couch, you get more tired? Yeah, it's happened to us all. I feel like it is something that we can all relate to because a body at rest stays at rest. But if we move, if we action, if we do the next thing, it will encourage our body to keep doing the thing. A body in motion absolutely stays in motion. Think back to the times where you recognize this to be true and use that as motivation to do the next thing, because a body in rest will absolutely always want to stay at rest. Think about when you've taken on a fitness challenge of some sort and you get into that routine, that habit of doing 30 minutes of exercise every day or running every day or whatever fitness goal you're doing, and then you're in a good habit, and then maybe you get sick and you have to take a couple of days off. Think about how hard it is to get going, right? Because it's way easier to stay at rest. A body in motion stays in motion, and a body at rest stays at rest every time, every single time. Actions also substantiate feelings of achievement. So when you do the thing, you feel good, and that builds on itself, right? You're building the foundation of accomplishment, and each accomplishment builds confidence to take the next action, builds confidence to do the next accomplishment, which builds on the next accomplishment. So definitely action helps substantiate feelings of achievement. So keep taking those actions so you can keep feeling like you're achieving more. So it's all fine and dandy to say that taking action is important and it matters and we need to do the things. That's nice, but how do we do the things? That becomes the hardest part. Sometimes starting that action, taking that first step is the hardest thing to do. One of the leading thinkers in this area is a woman called Mel Robbins, and her philosophy is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule. And her deal is that if you can count down from 5 and do the thing on 1, your brain doesn't have time to catch up and stop you from taking the action. So if you can count down from 5, literally 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and when you hit 1, you do the thing, you will keep doing the thing. She figured, when she came up with this idea, she figured she should have a fancy name or some catchy marketing type title for her actions. But truly, it's the 5-second rule. It's as simple as that name because it works. She also has a TED Talk about it. You should definitely check out if you're interested. Super fascinating. And I've used this one, and it absolutely works. It absolutely works. Another leading thinker in this area is Seth Godin, and he talks about the lizard brain, which is that biologically wired place down deep inside that just wants to chill out and relax and look for negativity and look for danger and not actually do anything because it's safer and it feels better and it's easier. But Seth also talks about just ship the thing. Don't think about it, don't worry about it. When you've got something almost there, perfect enough, just ship it. Hit send on that email, hit publish on that website, hit go on that video game, whatever it is you need to get started to do, just ship it, just start. Take that first step, just do the thing. Ship, get your lizard brain out of the way and just do it. Related to this is something we call MVP, minimum viable product. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be perfect enough. Just get to whatever that minimum viable product is, that bare minimum that you can start to ship, and just ship the thing. Just get to that minimum and start. You can build upon it. You can learn as you go. We call this agile thinking. Do the minimum, build on it after that. Again, to the accomplishment, taking action helps us to feel accomplished, and each action will help us build on our accomplishments. If you get a minimum viable product, then you can start to ship and you can start to build and iterate on it from there. The last thing is think about all of the reasons you're not doing something and think about whether those are actually excuses that are getting in the way of you doing the thing. There's an author called Stephanie Voza, who is a author on Inc. magazine. So she's published an article all around recognizing your excuses, recognizing your reasons as excuses. And she talks about 2 red flags to notice if your reasons are excuses. So the first thing she talks about is recognizing if your reasons are just old stories you keep telling yourself. Are they stories that are getting in your way? Are they mean girl and mean guy narratives that are telling you you can't do the thing because of this same reason that keeps coming up and coming up and coming up? Are those reasons just excuses and just repeating stories that keep getting in the way? So pay attention to those red flags. Also pay attention to the red flag if your excuse is surrounded by some negative emotion. So often our reasons are coming from a place of fear or anxiety or anger, and our emotions are difficult and our excuses give us relief. Are your reasons, are your excuses surrounded by fear and anxiety, and is that what's getting in your way? Is your emotional brain preventing your thinking brain from helping you to execute? Give some thought to that red flag as well, and where your reasons are coming from, what motivation you're feeling for those excuses. And if they are just excuses, then get them the hell out of the way. These things should not be legitimate reasons that are stopping you from doing what you're doing. If they are legitimate reasons, if there's, safety concerns, or other people are going to be negatively affected, or you're not quite ready because of financial reasons, or you don't have a minimum viable product, super legit. Those are real reasons that you can then employ your pathways thinking to get around. But if they are just excuses on why you're not taking action, recognize them for what they are, and then go and take that action. I hope that this was helpful in helping you to find your hopeful future. Looking forward to speaking with you again tomorrow. Have a good day.